Hello chaps, it's Rob here, and today we're doing something a little bit different. As you can tell, maybe I'll better take that back. Maybe you recognise me now. I've come up here. This is a place called Bettwil, where I know I'll get a bit of sun. You can see, I think behind me is pretty bright. There we are, I'm looking into the sun now. And two things. First of all, you'll notice this is not my workshop, and I'm wearing a motorcycle helmet. Yes. The reason for that is, surprise, surprise, is I came here on the motorcycle. And I've promised Chan from HandyRadio UK to finally make a motorcycle video. Unfortunately, there's no point of view stuff. There's no camera attached to the helmet because that camera is its battery is flat currently. I've just recorded something else, but I will show you the motorcycle if you're into that. And also a little bit about this place. Let me just show you about the place first. Here we go, look, isn't that interesting? What funny kind of buildings, not very easy to see. Let me focus in on that. This is a declassified anti-aircraft missile site. Very, very interesting thing. There are one or two of them dotted around in Switzerland, and one of them has been made into a museum, unfortunately not this one. But as you can see, there are still some bits and pieces left. Let's zoom into this building. Still one or two bits and pieces left. Here's a bunker, look, where they must have kept something pretty precious, like rockets or something. And anyway, so that's one well-known thing from this location. The location is called Bettwil, B-E-T-T-W-I-L. You can look it up in maps, Google Maps. And then the other thing is, yes, my motorcycle. And I'm just walking like a crab sideways just to show you this thing. It looks fairly old, isn't quite as old as it looks. It's from 1994, and I have modified it somewhat to make it look even older. It's a Yamaha SR500 single. Notice the lack of electric start behind the cylinder. It is only a kickstart, and that means for people with weak legs, there is no fun. You've got to be able to start it. And I think that's the reason why the first owner sold it, because when I bought it many years ago, it only had about 1,000 miles on the clock. Anyway, so it's a real classic, and you can see I've really made sure that only the most basic necessities are on it. Very, very slim. It's a 500 single. According to the Swiss specification, it should only have 24 horsepower, but I've made sure that it's got everything that's coming to it, and I think it's got just over 27. Yes, so what a man I must be if I can master all that unbridled power. There we go. It is, I think we looked at the right-hand side, and that's what I would call the chocolate side, the best side. This is the left-hand side, and you've got one or two bits and bobs here that you don't have on the other side. For example, the petrol tap on the tank just here in the centre of picture. Somebody just having fun on the bends below me, and just passing. So there we go. I'll give you a look at the clocks. Yes, we don't have such a thing as a onboard computer, that's me. But we do have a look at the clocks here. And you see the distance of around 32,000 kilometers, which is 20,000 miles. Not an awful lot after, what is it? 21 years, something like that. And the digital experience is enhanced further by all these analog clocks. You can see that's the speedo, and that's the tacho. So redlining at 7,000, but it's really very uncomfortable around there. I'd like to only take it to about 5.5. And here's the oil temperature gauge, filled with glycerin, just to stop the needle wobbling about. And right now, of course, the level of the glycerin is just more or less where the needle is, so it's about 50 degrees. There we go. Tank is not original. In fact, very little on this is original. Rear light is not original. Number plate is not original. Chain guard is not original. I made that myself. Rear shocks are not original. The rear handle is not original. The side panels are not original. Tank, I think I mentioned. The handlebars not original, but the mirror is. And the fork gaiters are not original, and nor are the springs in the forks. I put all of those in. And looking round at the right hand side, you can see the rather cool exhaust, which is also not original, and nor is the header. Put those on as well. Yeah, the R clips or R pins are also not original. And the seat, oh yeah, I forgot the seat. The seat is also not original. So, but the frame is, and so is the engine and the wheels. Okay, and the brakes. I really wish I didn't have this drum brake, because if you like to a bit of excitement, the drum brake might give you a bit more excitement than you bargained for, because it's really not very effective, and so you really do have to think about where your braking points are going to be, because otherwise you're going to run out of road, which is something nobody really wants. And yeah, okay, so that's the promised quick look at the motorbike. It's a 1994 SR500 modified to give mind-bogglingly 27 horsepower and single kickstart only. And it's a dry sump, for people who know what that means, and that means the oil is actually kept in the frame of the motorcycle. Okay, so I think we're going to go back to looking at me. Yes, you lucky people. There we go. And the other thing I'm going to tell you about is the other reason that Bettwil is quite well known, especially in the motorcycling community, is that it's the location of the legendary Fritz Egli. Now, some of you older people may know that Fritz Egli has been making or tuning motorcycles for, it must be at least the last 40 years, if not more. And what he's done is, I think he used to tune Nortons. To be honest, I really don't know everything that he's done. He's been so prolific. But what he currently does is Yamaha VMAX, and they push out around, I think, something like 170 horsepower. So they're real rockets. and he's also the Swiss importer for the Royal Enfield from India, and he makes what they call the Swiss finish on those, and that makes them really very nice, nicely put together. Fritz Egli is a perfectionist and an engineer through and through, and he really makes a fantastic job of these things. And so what I propose is, once I've stopped talking here, is we take a little dip down into the village, and I was just looking off screen, there's a huge kite just been swooping over me. So we take a little trip down to the village, and I'll do a quick selfie in front of Fritz Egley's place. Okay, so time to pack up, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay chaps, here I am again. Let's just get that out of the way. I'm standing here in front of this business of Fritz Egli, as you can see, and or maybe you can't see, but I will show you in a second. Let's do that. Here we go. This is Egli Racing, this is his website, and for years he's been tuning Norton motorcycles. And as I mentioned while we were up on the hill, what he does now is to import these wonderful machines. This is a Royal Enfield with his Swiss finish, so impeccably assembled, all tolerances matched and everything. And these things are a bit of history. As you may know, the Enfields were brought to India by the British, probably in the, I'm guessing now, but probably in the 30s, and they're still built there, and so they really have extended the range. I think they even have a diesel now, which is amazing. But as you can see, this is really a piece of living history. And not only that, but they're being tuned and made into sports machines. Nostalgic, I think we could call it nostalgic sports machines. Look at these. Not exactly low clip-ons, but higher clip-ons. And a very compact racing position of this piece of history here. And so that's the called the Continental GT. And this one, I don't know the name of this one. It's also got a Continental GT sticker on it. So with the rather more modern shocks, a single disc on the front, something I wish I had. Better stopping power. Really beautiful old style machines, but with modern tolerances and not leaking like a sieve like British motorcycles used to do, which Triumph also does not these days. And in the shop window we have another beautiful Enfield from Swiss finish from Fritz Egli. So there you go. Oh yes, let me just get this shop sign standing above the workshop. The only connection I have here is that by pure chance it was his son who sold me my motorcycle, but at the time that was somewhere else and not here. So there we go. There we are. Bettwil in Switzerland. and the home of Egli Racing, Fritz Egley's legendary tuning shop, and the current historic beauties of these Royal Enfield motorcycles with the Swiss finish.